Welcome, fellow trackers. I'm Nick Metzger. My partner, my co-host in crime, is none other than Mr. Sean Abbott. We're here. We're recording September 26th. It's a Thursday, 6 p.m. for those of you who care, in the Eastern time. If you're over in the Sean area, it's almost the 27th. So there you go. We're going to be chatting about a little bit of Tokyo Game Show. We're going to be chatting about other September updates. We're going to be probably chatting about Zelda. I'm not going to lie because I don't know why I'm here and not playing that. But we'll be chatting about a lot of stuff, and you should stick around because it'll be a fun dang time, that's for sure. So, Sean, how's life, man? How you doing?
I don't know. I think people might want a knee update.
They need an update. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
man, I couldn't help myself.
So the knee is still somewhat fat. Last week it was very, very fat. This week it's not as fat. I've had it aspirated, which I'm going to tell you now is not the most pleasant experience I've ever had. If you can imagine, like a needle the size of a skewer going into your knee cavity and attached to a syringe about yay long by about yay round.
6 inches long, about an inch in diameter. For those of you who are listening,
yeah, it's not good. And I have okay. For anybody that's known me for a while and has like followed me through different social networking aspects, I'm a slightly heavily tattooed guy, but the lower half of my right leg is just one big tattoo. But I have a massive, massive fear of needles. Like an inept fear of needles to the point where if I have to have bloods taken roughly every 2 months because of other health issues that I have. I sound great. I sound like I'm old.
Yeah, you sound like you're falling apart, Sean.
I am. We're here for a good time, not a long time.
I guess that's true. Like you just like putting body parts in a suitcase, trying to drag them along. Be like, well, I'll tie those back on later, I guess.
Yeah. So I literally every time I go, I sit in the waiting room and I can feel this nausea in my stomach, and then I get into the actual room where they take the blood, and the woman's like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Nope, this doesn't get any easier. I'm still completely afraid of what you're about to do next." And it's not that I'm scared that it's gonna hurt or that she's going to do something massively wrong and kill me or anything. It's literally the idea that somebody is putting a foreign object into my body.
I mean that's fair. That's yeah.
So when I'm sat there in this treatment room and the consultant's kind of like there with this great big syringe with this great big needle and he's holding it next to my knee, and I'm like trying my very best to lay back and be calm and think of nice things, and like as soon as I hear him move in the chair, I shot up and I was like, there's no way you're putting that inside me while I'm awake. And he was like, I really am. So anyway, he ended up doing it, and he withdrew a lot of blood. So I have a lot of blood in my knee rather than synovial fluid, which is like a straw color or anything like that, which kind of should be there if you have an injury and stuff like that. It's full of blood. So the next steps after that is I don't know. I need an MRI scan, and
that's the worst part about any injury is like if you're in the I don't know, like I don't know if it's gonna get better, when it's gonna get better, how to get it better. Like that's the part I wouldn't like. That's the part. I wouldn't like any of it, but that's the part I would not like the most. I think I did that right.
So it's just been interesting. That was like a couple of days ago. The swelling has naturally like continued to go down, and I'm assuming that's because whatever blood was left in there is slowly just reabsorbing into my body. But yeah, that's that. I'm driving again. I actually drove today, which is nice.
Hey.
I haven't done that since the 15th, which was quite cool. Which means I get to take grandma shopping tomorrow, which I actually look forward to. So
the question I always have is like, which one of you is going to have the walker now? That's what I need to know. I'm sorry.
I know she's more able and more apt than I am at walking. She's like a speedy little speed horse.
A speedy little speed horse. I love it. You guys can share the walker. You can each have one side of it. It'll work out just fine.
Other than her eyes and her ears, she's like picture of health. She's fine.
There you
So,
go. See, you guys
better
are
than
like,
me.
you guys can have the same conversation. She's like, other than my eyes and my ears. You're like, I know, Grandma. Other than my knees and I don't know, my joints. I'm with you.
Just give me hey, Bet, just give me a piggyback. I'll tell you where to go.
Who's taking who to the grocery store this week, Grandma? I'm not real sure. We'll have to figure that out.
How are you getting on anyway, man? How's it going?
It's going good. Work's been real busy, but I mean, everybody's work's busy, so nobody cares about that really. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm taking kids to practices and doing that kind of thing. Ariel has a game this week, soccer stuff. So yeah, we went to the fair on Saturday. 4-H fair. Sent you some pictures of cows because I know that that's a thing, and so yeah, it was fun. We went on the alien abduction ride. I think it's called the Music Express. It used to be called the Gravitron. Now it's the alien abduction. The Himalaya. Now it's the Music
Express. The one that spins and sticks you to the side.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, I hate them so much.
Oh my gosh, my kids went on it like 5 times. We went on the Himalaya, which is like the Music Express now. I knew it as the Himalaya. It's now called the Music Express. The Dragon, the pirate ship. I don't know, whatever that one. It used to be called the Dragon. I think now it's called the pirate ship. I can't. When I was like, it's hard for me to know the new names because these are names that I grew them up with. My daughter went on the Zipper, which I don't ever get on the Zipper, man. That thing's ridiculous. So good for her. Yeah, it was the fair's always a good time. It's like probably the biggest thing that happens in this county, to be honest. So everybody comes to it, and we get people from we get regional people. Like we're not getting people from across the country or whatever, but people will come from a few counties over, stuff like that, to come to see it. So that's cool. And yeah, but it's here for a week and it's gone, and so there you go. So that's that.
And I don't know if anybody can tell who's listening, but Nick very much wants to just be playing Zelda. So
yeah,
this all seems like a chore. This is why it sounds like a little bit of a chore.
No, it's not a chore. If I get to talk to you, Sean, it's not a chore. That's 100% the truth. But I mean, he's not wrong. Like y'all, that's how much I love Sean. Because otherwise, yeah, I'd be playing Zelda right now, 100%. I haven't got to play it at all yet. Pre-downloaded at midnight today, and I've been at work or sleeping, which is what a responsible adult would do or should do.
See, I struggled last night. I was awake at the turn of midnight in the UK. For whatever reason, I could not seem to switch off. And rather than playing Zelda, I continued to read my book until 1 a.m. I didn't play it. And then once everybody, because I'm off work, once everybody disappeared off to school and work, I played it for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And then I emptied the garage because there was a load of stuff in there from when we moved Jay out that I hadn't moved because I hadn't been able to do anything. That took like an hour and a half, and then I played my Zelda, and then I fed the kids, and then I played my Zelda. So.
I hate you and I love you all at the same time. I can't say I was a good father. I went upstairs and I'm like, "What are you doing?" My son's upstairs waiting for mom to come home. And he's like, "I'm just watching TV." And I was like, "Why aren't you playing the Zelda game?" And he's like, he didn't know it dropped. And he's like, it's out? And I'm like, "Yeah, it's out." And he's like, you can play. I said, "Yeah, but if you tell me one thing about it before I get to play it," I said, "it will be the end of your time with that Switch." He's like, I won't. So there we go. Yeah, I threatened my kid's life. It's true, kids. There you go. That's what good dads do.
I do exactly the same. To be fair, Emily, because I've been playing it, and Emily's been really looking forward to it. She kind of has stayed out of the room. So I think she's got a lot of that as well, which is nice.
There you go. So let's get on with it. The show, get on with the deal. Get us into this sucker, Sean.
Yeah, so as I say this every week, you can find us on pretty much every social networking app. That nearly came out so wrong. Social networking app that is out there. Everything is at VGT Gaming News. So if you found us on X, you know where to look for us. If you have any thoughts, any questions, or you want to come and talk to us, you can mock me for how much I absolutely spoon this every week. You can join a Discord. There's a code that'll appear somewhere in the chat, and it's down in the bio. There's links everywhere all over the place, but you can find them. You can find me, you can find Nick, you can find all the other members of the VGT team, along with over 2,000 other members that are all chatting about the games that are playing. Also, if you like what you're hearing, it really helps us if you can go down and your little podcast the app of choice and find some stars and hopefully give us 5. If it lets you leave a nice review, do that too. Really helps us grow. And we wouldn't be a Game Pass show without promoting the Big Daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. So if you love Game Pass, which I do, I absolutely love it. It has helped me out for the last 2 weeks while I've not been at work. You can sign up to Game Pass through the Xbox.com website with the link that is also in the description. Sign up to Game Pass. It not only will be helping out the Game Pass Tracker show and all the other members of the VGT team, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going, which of course is Xbox Game Pass. So sign up to whatever level you desire, be that core, standard, PC, Game Pass, or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat or the show notes, and you'll help us to continue to create the awesome content that we absolutely love making for you guys, as much as we will both probably be liking to play Zelda right now. So, to get this over and over so we can get back to Zelda really quickly, I'm just kidding. Nick, without further ado, let's go into this week's top stories.
And we are off to the X feed. See, guys, this is where when we bring up Streamlabs and stuff all goes awry. This is where now you just have to imagine how cool that X feed transition is. There you go. There it was. And that's when I come back and I say, yeah, this is the X feed where we talk about the top stories, news bulletins, and our feature story. But first, we have 3 top stories before we get to the meat, that Tokyo Game Show, which is our feature story. The first is what's included with the September 2024 Xbox update. There's actually a big one here, Sean. I was a little like, oh wow.
Yeah, I'm a little upset by this. Because the one you're on about is the mobile app.
Yeah, going away, slashing it, getting rid of it, killing it, nixing it, 9 in it, 89 in it. Never mind. Anyways, I'm sorry. Keep going.
So, wow, this really slows down. I'm going to try to open a
I was wondering. You have gotten real slow. Yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, this is what happens. We're using a new system that we can chat with via because, yeah. Tell you what. I'm going to have to start pulling more information out of those web pages, aren't I?
Yeah, either that or we have to figure out something else. Yeah, like Sean said, we got a whole bunch of different things happening here. So, sorry about that.
I will. See what I can do. I can see if I can get it up on my phone.
Yeah, so what we're talking about while Sean works on his phone is the Game Pass app is being discontinued. I'll be interested to know why you're like super upset about this. On my phone right now, I have 3 Xbox apps. I have Game Pass app, I have the Xbox app, and I have the cloud gaming app. Listen, if I can get rid of one of those, God bless them, I'll get rid of it. Why isn't Game Pass just part of Xbox? That's, So I don't actually have a problem with that. The line goes, starting this week, we're streamlining the mobile app experience by moving features from separate Game Pass app into the Xbox app. And why is that a problem? These updates will be available for Xbox beta members on mobile and will be coming to everyone very, very soon. What's your problem with it, Sean? Let me know.
I like the way the Xbox app looks, and I don't want it to then change and like have to really work. Because I like capturing stuff. So like I sent you the Prince of Persia stuff that I've been playing, and I sent you the little wingsuit video that I made on Riders Republic.
Mm-hmm. Very cool, by the way.
If they start to mess around with other aspects of the Xbox app, that's when I'll start to get upset because I quite like how that's laid out. Yes, it does bug me that I'm having to go in and out of 2 apps, one for game stuff and to look at Xbox stuff. But 9 times out of 10, if I want to know what's on Game Pass, I load the Xbox up and just play it and go through it that way. So
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I do load the Xbox app up. Now, or the Game Pass app up. Now, the only thing I'll say is, like, don't bury the Game Pass stuff, which I don't think they will. Game Pass is super important to Xbox, so I'd be super surprised if that's what they did. I think it'll have its own little tab in the Xbox app, and as long as that's what they do, and I can get to all the stuff, then one less app on my phone. I'm actually pretty happy with it. So, additional game management options on the PC. Game Bar Compact Mode will be launched for all PC players. You can pre-download your Xbox updates. No more waiting for game updates to download. Now you can jump in and start playing right when the update goes live. This seems really strange to me, Sean. Like, Game pre-download, I get, right? Because it's like, okay, you're waiting. They've said the game is available at this time. That's when it's available. You can say you want it pre-downloaded while you wait for that date because you have physical and digital and all this different thing. But like, I always just how can you pre-download an update? Like, it feels like the update should be like it gets dropped when it's ready to go, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
If you can pre-download it ahead of time, so it doesn't affect your gameplay, people with bad internet might struggle with that kind of thing. So that's one reason why I configured it. But then to have it pre-installed, like pre-downloaded, and you pick and choose when you want it to be installed, rather than being forced to install it and it interrupt your gameplay as well. That's the only two reasons why I can possibly think that this is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the second. It just no, and I think maybe you have to make a differentiation between because I think of it as like an update as like a patch. These kind of get mismatched, right? Or like mixed up. Like, is it a patch? Is it an update? Is it like DLC? I don't know. There's all these different terms, and they kind of get mixed up and thrown around and used in different ways. So I think of it like well, if you got an update, you're fixing something, you're updating something, and so you drop it as soon as you can, and as soon as it drops, you want it in your game because it makes something better. It makes something work better. It makes it more stable, as everybody likes to talk about in these things. So yeah, I guess I just don't understand. It doesn't like games I get pre-downloads for, obviously. Even DLC I get pre-downloads for, obviously. Like the new Starfield DLC. But updates just feel like things that just get dropped, and then you're like, okay, now I get to download it and help something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I always check. It's one of the first things that I do. Sorry, the dog just decided to headbutt the table. One of the first things I do is I every time I load my Xbox up, is I go into the Game Pass app on the Xbox and I have a look at what's new, because obviously there's new stuff coming all the time. Like with the Tokyo Game Show today, there's been shadow drops, so it's nice to see what's up there and if I want to play them. And then as soon as I've done that, I go into my games and apps and I have a look at what needs updated. And then if it's a game that I was planning on playing, obviously I'm then not going to be able to play it because it's going to need an update as soon as I start. So I ping them all going, and because they made that update recently where it doesn't affect the download rate if you're playing a game, as long as it isn't hammering like a multiplayer connection like Call of Duty would. Like every week.
Yeah.
Every week.
Rex has to get his 2 cents in. It just is what it is.
So like it'll download pretty quick in the background. Give me that. Come here. Leave. Thank you.
You just made him a super sad dog. He's like, took my toy.
He'll just find something else.
Probably.
He'll come and like.
Oh, now you're playing fetch with him. Now Sean is now throwing it. He's now you have started a whole different deal now.
No, he's now just stood staring at the wall.
Oh, really?
Because the light from the
shadows. You told me shadows are his thing. Yeah.
Big time. What was it? So yeah, because they brought that update out where you can download stuff in the background while you're playing a game, it doesn't affect the download speed. I'll be like, right, okay, I'll go and play something like Riders Republic, because I'm at a point in that now where I go in just to have a casual ride around because I've done all the career modes and stuff like that. So I can go in, I can have a casual ride around, because the little notification pops up to tell you that the game's ready to play. I can then just hold the home button down and it takes me straight into the game and away I go. So
nice. Okay, so our second topic is Xbox unveils new transparent controller along with 6 Design Lab variants. I don't know, I think it looks cool. I mean, it's nothing I really want. I don't think it's that cool, but I don't know. How's your feel on the new transparent controller? You can see some of the insides, but not a ton, I wouldn't say. So, I don't know. What do you think?
I quite like them.
Do you?
I liked, yeah. But I had the Crystal Xbox, so
sure.
The original.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I really liked that. So I'd quite happily have the see-through green one that they do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is it? Which one that one's called? Is it Ghost Cipher? I think, or Pulse Cipher. I can't remember. But yeah, I'd go for that anytime. I'm just looking at it now. I'm seeing right in. It's just very pretty.
It is. Yeah, it is. I'm looking at it. I think it's cool. That's probably the one. I'm guessing it's hard to tell which one they mean is which one, but I'm gonna guess that is the Pulse Cipher. I like the blue teal one too. I just want to see more of the components. Like I guess that's my thing. When I look at this, it's like all you're really doing is seeing through the shell to another layer of plastic. Like you can see the things on the handles that help it vibrate, give you the rumble. But other than that, that's really about it.
Yeah, but you can only see that's only on the generic controller. So like
that's
the
true.
One the Series X has.
Yeah.
If you want the Elite Series, like the Elite controller, you can't. You won't see that because of the rubberized grips that are on there.
Yep.
So
that's true. Yeah, this is a hard pass for me. It's not really tempting at all. But if you're all into it and you need a controller, or you don't need a controller and you're just all into it, then it's there for you and have at it. And I'm happy for you. Story number 3. Phil says 2024 is Xbox's best year in Asia across all devices. Is that a low bar, Sean?
I don't think it is. They've done a lot of work into making sure that they're very inclusive of that market, because that market is heavily leans into like RPG games and stuff like that, and they've made sure that there's titles as well as things like Indiana Jones being as it's released, being all like have Japanese audio rather than just Japanese subtitles with English audio. They're making sure that it's all it's there and available for them. So they are putting a lot of work into that side of the world, having, great games, great content, and then the access to those great games and great content in their native language, which you think is great. So they are putting a lot of work into it. So I can see where he's coming from, saying by like it's the cloud, the X, PC, the Series X, the Series S and Series X PC, Game Pass, cloud. If they're doing really well and they're seeing progress in sales and downloads and users online across those things, then yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, I do think it's great. I just get the feeling that their market share in Asia was so abysmal to say, listen, we're doing the best we've ever done in Asia. That's great. You got to start somewhere. You got to move up somehow. That's fantastic. I don't think that really means near what some people might think it means, because their market share has just always been, they've always struggled in that market. And so, but I'm glad to see that, like you said, they're doing work. They're trying hard, I think, to kind of court that market. And I hope that, and it seems that they're starting to see some growth from it for the work that they put in, which I think is great. We need more Xbox players all around the world. So I think that's great. I just don't know if it means near as much as what it might sound like, if that makes sense.
I think he was trying to break in because it was the start of the Tokyo Game Show where he announced it. So I'm kind of thinking it was his way of starting out the whole broadcast on a very positive note for the audience that it was aimed at, and for the people that's around, which is great. He was like, hey, look, I'm super happy that you guys are helping us do so well, because it's obviously the people that buy the consoles, it's the people that buy the games, it's the people that have access to cloud servers and stuff like that make these kind of things grow. So it's probably his way of coming out and saying thank you very much, everybody that's involved, for helping that kind of roll up.
Mm-hmm. You're probably right, and I think you're not probably right. You're 100% right, and I think it's a good way to start. And of course, he's not going to be like, "Wow, Tokyo really sucked for us," but I guess we're glad to be here, And so yeah. But I do think it's good. that they're seeing the largest increase that they have seen, for whatever that means for them. News bulletin only one after leaving Xbox Game Pass. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre gets its price well massacred. So there you go.
Yep.
Big price
Well,
slash
really
for
slashed.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It drops from $40 down to $20, so 50% off, which is more than what you would have got if you'd have bought the game while it was still on Game Pass. Would be 20% off. So
That's true. That's true.
we say it every week when we talk about games leaving. Sometimes they drop on sale afterwards, sometimes they don't. So it's just one of those gambles that you take. So unfortunately, if you bought it at 20% of your Game Pass subscription, you're now looking there thinking, well, it's now 50% off. You still got a great game. So, quit your bitching.
For sure. All right. That is all of our news bulletins and our top stories. On to our feature story, which is the Tokyo Game Show Roundup for all the reveals and all the stuff. 6 new games announced for Game Pass at the Tokyo Game Show. And the 6... Wow, and these are all out today? These are all Game Pass games?
All but the StarCraft 2 and StarCraft Remastered. But everything else dropped, like Shadow dropped during the show.
Well, those are the funnest ones. The most funnest. Yep. The most funnest? The most funnest.
And the ones that all dropped Shadow drop style are available on the console, where StarCraft and StarCraft 2, I think, are only going to PC.
Gotcha. So those games are, sorry, my bad. Those games are that are dropped today for Game Pass. We Love Katamari Reroll, plus the Royal Reverie DLC. All You Need Is Help, Legend of Mana, and then its companion Trials of Mana. So there you go. I don't know. Are you excited about any of these? Have you ever played Katamari Damacy?
I think I tried it, and then I had absolutely no idea what was going on, apart from I was rolling around and just picking a load of stuff up.
Yeah, a lot of sticky stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know the objective, and I was quite dumbfounded by it. So I was like, and I think I just stopped playing it.
Yeah, I used to. I've played it. My kids like it. They've played it on the Switch. So that's exciting that's come out. I don't know if I would jump back into it or not, but I think that's cool. All You Need Is Help. I'll kind of read through this one because I'm not sure about this one. Take control of an adorable, fluffy, cube-shaped creatures. Each one has a unique shape, and you'll need to work together to solve puzzles. Just watch out for obstacles. Gather family, friends, or enemies to play locally or online. The simple but addictive gameplay makes it perfect for parties or to vibe with friends. Cross-platform is supported across, all platforms. So you can play with all your friends. Hey, local co-op. I'm always down for local co-op. Sounds like it could be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm going to say this looked like a really cute one. This is one of the ones that I did go back and watch again. And I was like, this is one of those that I could play probably with Emily couch co-op. Sure. I don't think I could play it with Logan because I think there'd be a lot of like trying to get him to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
But definitely with Emily. So.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Legend of Mana, also out today. Colorful cast square off against fearsome monsters and explore the vast world of Phidiel in this HD remaster of the beloved classic. And then go ahead.
And then Trials of Mana,
yep.
which is, I believe, the second one in the series. So you have the remaster and then you have this one. So these two games dropping side by side is pretty good if you like the Mana series. So.
I mean, man, Tokyo Game Show pretty good for Game Pass. It sounds like.
Well, it kind of needed to be because when I go forward and then like look at what we've got coming up later with the Game Pass headlines, and I've got absolutely nothing listed here for out next week, and we had 3 games drop since the 19th of September. They kind of needed to do something like this. So,
yeah, I would agree. It has been it has been a slow season for Game Pass right now. Not a lot. We were fiery hot through the summer, I think. I mean, we were filling up games coming out. almost every week. But yeah, here recently, sometimes there's nothing. Sometimes there's just a couple things. So yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Sorry, I'm just watching my dog try and curl himself up in his toy box. It's weird.
He's weird. He's also sad. He lost his squeaky toy. So
he hasn't lost it. I can see it's at the other side of the living room. He just literally needs to use his nose and go find it.
Well, it takes a lot of work. You got to walk to the other side of the room.
He's a Springer Spaniel. He's just got more energy than anything else I ever known. But yeah, other things that came out in the Tokyo, because we've talked heavily about the stuff that's Game Pass. But Will's Edge, they unveiled the first expansion for the Age of Mythology Retold, which I believe was a Game Pass game. So, and that was for PC only. So that's good news for you guys. There's a brief look at the Indiana Jones, given a bit more of an in-depth, a little bit more of a gameplay trailer and like a bit of a teaser, with obviously the information that they were going to do a full Japanese language support ahead of its launch in December. Then there was Tanuki, which is Pond Summers, which is a cute BMX game that is coming out to Xbox One and Series X and S. We're not going to spend much time talking about these because we are a Game Pass show, but we want to give you all the information we can regards everything that came out on Xbox. Threads of Time, which is a new 2.5D JRPG, which is inspired by some of the classics from that genre. There was a new first-person shooter, Fragpunk, which is going to have a closed beta for Xbox in October, which might be good to try because I believe that was a game that we saw in the summer showcase, but we weren't entirely sure if that was coming to Game Pass or not. So that'd be nice to try and get hands on and have a play. Sorry, my phone is now deciding it wants to be as much of a pain in the backside as Chrome was. Stop moving around.
Sorry, do you need me to take over?
I give up. It's because there's so many ads trying to play on the screen at the same time.
I was trying to send a message out to everybody. I don't know where you left off. Threads of Time, was that what it?
Yeah.
Oh, Fragpunk. Metaphor, Refantasio gets a new trailer. Atelier. You just didn't want to say these. That's what it was. Atelier, Yumiya.
If I could get the screen to stay still long enough because it's trying to play adverts, then I'd say them, but...
Asurang Rumble brings its Battle Royale to Xbox in 2025. Bleach, Rebirth of Souls unveils new trailer confirmed for 2025. Sinduality, Echo of Ada, launches January 2025. Furry Friends will be added to Fallout 76. You better be able to pet them. That's all I got to say. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD remasters 2025, March 2025. All You Need Is Help. I've heard good things about this, by the way. Brings its multiplayer puzzle game to Xbox Game Pass today. Slitterhead gets a new trailer ahead of Xbox launch this November. Turn-based RPG Starbrights announced for Xbox and no date. A fresh look at the Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake. And Square Enix brings 2 mana games, which we already talked about. So that is the full load of everything on Tokyo Game Show, which actually is quite a bit, I would say, for Xbox.
There was a lot there, and there was a lot of good stuff. They were showing off a lot of stuff. There was a few bits and pieces, like comparisons of... I'm just trying to kill everything on my phone before my phone dies as well. They were showing off like comparisons of the new Solid Snake game, the remaster for that, of Snake Eater and stuff like that. There was lots of stuff there. I do wish I'd have paid a lot more attention to it. I was busy recuperating from being stabbed in the knee and feeling sorry for myself. So
he was playing Zelda, guys. Okay, I mean, let's just all be real here. He was playing Zelda.
I was playing Zelda.
Which is totally
understandable. One thing you're gonna have to know about me is when there's a new Mario game, a new Zelda game, or a new Metroid game that drops, there is I just get this tunnel vision where that's all I can focus on. So.
Yep, I get it. I'm fixing some stuff on the fly, by the way. So if you're watching the thing and you're freaking out, just don't pay any attention to the guy behind the curtain, because it's kind of frustrating me a bit. Anyways. So yeah, I think what I love about this show is the one thing that I think every show should have, and that is out today games. Especially if you have a thing like Game Pass. It doesn't have to be something new. It doesn't have to be something anything like that. It can be a game, but I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. But if it's out today, it's just like I don't know. It just is so much better. It's like, oh my gosh, I got something today that I didn't even know I was gonna get, and now I have it. I may not even care about it, but I'm gonna be like, hey, that show was pretty good because I got that thing that I was like, man, I got something today that I didn't know. It's just like when you go to the store and you get like, I don't know, it could be like a $1-2 item, and it's like, yeah, it's free, and you're just like, I didn't know I was even gonna get this. It's like, who cares? But I do. I don't know. Maybe that's only me, but I'm all about.
No,
this.
I'm exactly the same. When Nintendo do theirs, and they have like that sizzle reel of games, and they're like, all these games are available on the eStar right now, and I'm like, holy crap! I didn't realize I wanted to buy that game. No, I'm going to buy that game because I want that game. Because it's available now and I've got something to play. So yeah, I like it when they do stuff like that. And it definitely makes the show a hell of a lot better when you can have, like, you can see a game that looks really cool and it's drawn your interest straight away. And they tell you at the end of that reel, it's like, this game is available on Game Pass today. You're like, oh, cool. That's my afternoon gone.
Yeah.
Whoops.
That's for sure. So. And that is exactly what everything that Xbox does needs to have. It needs to have like a available right now kind of thing.
Yeah. So. I think that's what the summer showcase was missing a lot of, which it was, we saw some great games like Indiana Jones, like this Fragpunk and stuff like that. And we saw a couple of games we didn't get a lot of information about, but we didn't get a lot of available now or available like at the end of this showcase kind of thing, and it was kind of missing that. And sometimes they need that and sometimes they don't. It all depends on what else rolls out. Like if Nintendo turned around and like did a surprise showcase and they dropped that the new Switch is going to drop May time next year, people aren't going to give an absolute crap that they didn't drop this game is available now. This game's available, but the fact that this huge news that everybody's waiting for and all the rumors and everything and the leaks and stuff that are going on are kind of like, offsets that. But if you're just going to show off a load of games that aren't going to be available, and then some of them since then have also been delayed a little bit further, you kind of start to lose that interest and stuff like that. So I think it's good to have them kind of like the ace in the sleeve where you can throw the card on the table and say, well, look, this game is going to be out next year and it looks really cool, but look what game you can play right now. So.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And so for that, I give Tokyo Game Show a B+.
Yeah, I give it some high marks as well. I go with a B+ too. That was a fair mark with games that are available today and the stuff that we saw as well. So.
Yeah, man. Anything else on the Tokyo Game Show before? Oh, I meant to. I was sending out a message before your phone died.
Oh.
Okay, there. I wanted to ask our crowd if anybody wanted to tell us what they thought of the Tokyo Game Show. So if you have anything for us, hit us up in chat. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you loved. Let us know what you didn't love. Yeah. Anything else before we head on to the dashboard, Sean?
No, but I'm dying to see what your scene selection of choices for this one.
Well, we're on to the dashboard, Sean. Let me hit the button. Oh, Sean's got it. You gonna do it for me this time? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, and go. I love it. That was perfect. Yeah. Well, guys, welcome back. The dashboard. This is where we talk about the games we're playing, the games we hope to play, and the games we want to play if we're not playing. So, Sean, what have you been playing, as I believe you have a little extra time on your hands lately?
Yeah, so with all this extra time I've had on my hands, I've kind of found myself going back through games that I've wanted to play or games that I kind of gave some attention to. But then due to new shiny things and then not having much time, I haven't played. So I've played a shit ton of Riders of the Republic. And when I say a shit ton, I think I'm at the 3 full days time-wise. So I'm at like 72 hours into this game. I have finished all the career events, which is like there's 33 air ones, 23 BMX ones, 33 snow trick ones. Just a crazy amount of things to do. I've tried to get all the stars I possibly could from little side missions that you have to do in each one of those. I have spent some time in that game, and I love it. I do. It's great. I like the first person view. I like the freedom of going anywhere. The fact that if you're riding a snowboard and then all of a sudden you start to run out of snow, you can switch to a bike, or you can switch to a wingsuit, or you can it's so much fun, and it makes like traversing the terrain really nice. The map is huge, the gameplay is great, the soundtrack is great. It is pretty flawless. I did buy this game. This is a game that I bought physically a while back, and didn't really have a grasp of it. I tried Steep, and enjoyed that game because I like snowboarding. Like I grew up on SSX, which is EA's snowboarding like games, so SSX Tricky and SSX and stuff like that. They were great games. So when I played Steep, and it was like kind of like that, it was nice. And then I went to Rise of Republic, and all like the gameplay trailers was just this absolutely nuts carnage of a game. And when it first came out, it didn't feel like it was this nuts carnage of the game. But they have done a lot of work on it since then, and it is pretty much a freaking nuts carnage of a game. There's loads of cool little like some of the missions that you do. Like one of them, instead of it being three-dimensional, you can move around in any direction. It side scrolls and stuff like that. It's just they've done a lot of work, which was great. So I put a lot of time into that and very much enjoyed it. And that's still available on Game Pass now. So if you like those kind of games and you want some time of throwing yourself down the side of a mountain bike attached to either a wingsuit, a snowboard, or a mountain bike, go and try it. It's a good laugh.
Sounds fun.
The other game I have played, which I said I was going last week, I said I was going to play because I wanted to get to it, is Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Fantastic installment in the series. I've played all of the Prince of Persia games, so I played the original side-scrolling one that was like on the Atari and stuff and things like that. All the way through to this one. So I've done the I've like done the third-person 3D ones where it was more of a quick time event parkour style of game where you was climbing around, like a bit like Tomb Raider. This one is great. It's side-scrolling with like 2.5D side-scrolling kind of thing, and it's got more of a Metroidvania feel to it. So there's like areas that you can't get into that you need to get the abilities unlocked to then get into those areas. And if you've played like the Ori series and stuff like that, so like the jumping from wall to wall and navigating around hazardous like surfaces and enemies and stuff like that, and boss battles like in Metroid Dread, this has it all, and it looks great and it plays really well. The only time I started to have any issues with the game was when I kind of finished with it. I got to 94.5% complete. And every time I went back to the main menu, the game would kind of just stick in a loading screen. So, but that could be because it's trying to load everything that I've achieved and all the map and all the bits that you've collected, and trying to load compile the game and everything like that. That it just kind of goes, maybe not.
Yeah.
So, but I really enjoyed that game. It was one of those where like a certain segment would take 30 to 35 tries to get it. Wow. And like I'd have sweaty palms and like have to put the controller down and just take a 2-minute break because I was like, I am getting so frustrated with the not quite being able to jump at the right time or do the right power, like the right ability at the right time to avoid this, that, and the other. So
yeah,
the boss battles.
It really looked like you had said Ori. It also looked like Celeste. I don't know if you played that. So it had like the bit you sent me reminded me of Celeste. You had the double jump, and you're really trying to just stay off of the walls at any cost because they're basically filled with spikes. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So like you can jump. When you first start, you only have like slide and jump, and then as you get there, you kind of like have this dash ability, a double jump ability, and this like a rope ability that allows you to attach to other things, and it's it gets to a point where you're having to use all those things in one segment, which is kind of that video I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're kind of like thinking, right, so I need to press A, and then I need to do like AARB, and then I need to do AARB, RT, A, and it's like your brain starts to like it becomes muscle memory after a few tries.
Yeah.
But like when you're first doing it, I'm pressing the wrong button and I'm just sending this guy into spikes and stuff like that. So.
That's crazy.
A fantastic game. And then the only other game I've been putting some time into is the new Zelda, which is Echoes of Wisdom. Is it something like that?
I actually don't know. I haven't seen the
remember.
title screen yet. Unlike you and my son. Not bitter though. Don't worry. Not bitter.
It's great. I love it. I'm not going to say much because you haven't played it. I don't want to ruin anything, but it's a fantastic game. It's a great installment in the franchise. It's added a new level of how the game plays and stuff like that. The fact that you're not the hero, you're the damsel in distress kind of thing. I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
I don't think I'll play the game the same way you'll play the game because of the abilities that you have in the game make you do things in a different way.
Okay. That'll be a great conversation for next week. I will. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Interesting to see how we go about it.
Yeah, it forces your hand because of the echoes that you've picked up. But then as you're going around and you pick up more and more and more and more echoes to the point where the list is huge, you start to notice different abilities with different echoes, which allow you to do different things. And it's how far outside the box can you think to achieve what you can see. Not quite what you need to achieve, but what you want to achieve, which is quite good.
That's awesome. Okay, what have I been playing? Well, folks, I've been playing Core Keeper. That's what I've been playing. Y'all hate me, and you're like, why the hell does he ever talk on this podcast? Because all he ever does is play Core Keeper.
Hey, look,
sorry.
We sat together on a call on Monday, and you was playing Core Keeper, and I was finishing off Prince of Persia, and then went back to finish off a little bit of Riders Republic.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Haven't made it
we
past
do that from time to time.
Haven't made it past that second wall yet. That one's got me. But I have a pretty sweet little base, and I've got all my railroads out. I beat the Hive Mother, so she was a mother, by the way. But got rid of her. So now I'm just trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do next. Like, who am I supposed to attack next? And this game, every time I'm a little like, okay, I'm done with this. But then, like, all of a sudden, I found myself 2 hours deep into another play session with it, and I'm like, I wasn't gonna do this anymore. That being said, I did have a little bit of time. I had like 25-ish minutes before I had to take my daughter to soccer practice. And so a game came out today on Apple Arcade, which has been lauded by a handful of podcasts that I listen to, named Balatro. It's like a solitaire poker game. The only bummer is, Sean, it is very roguelike. So you go as far as you can, and then you just kind of do it all again, but maybe get a little extra couple of things. It's an interesting deal where, like, you get dealt, I think it's like 11 cards, and you basically are trying to make a certain amount of points. I think they call them chips, but basically points. And so each thing that you can pull out of your card, so like if it's a straight, that has a base point of so much, and then each card will get you extra points of so much, and then you can get multipliers by the things that you have, by the buffs that you have in your hand. And then sometimes if you'll be playing the boss level, which is just kind of like the third level of each round that's harder. And that's Balatro. Yep.
Downloading it now.
And so I've been having fun with it. I think it'll be a fun, like, I gotta wait 5 minutes for this thing. I'll play this for a hot second while I'm waiting, kind of deal. It is. I don't know if I'm in love with it as much as some of the podcasts that I listen to are in love with it, but it might suck me in enough. But at this point, I've only put about 30 minutes into it. But my first run was fun. Had a good time. It was, it was what it was. I need to know a little bit more about what I gain from getting further and further in the runs. Like if I'm just like, oh, yep, I made it to 12. Let's see if I can make it to 13. That's probably not going to hold me out, and I'm probably going to be done pretty quick. So yeah, that's those are the 2 games I've been playing. What's on deck, Nick? Oh, Zelda. Okay, great. That's neat. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, more Zelda. More Zelda, and probably give All You Need Is Help a little run with the kids at the weekend.
Definitely going to do that. So that's our dashboard, folks. On to the Game Pass. Headlines.
Yeah, you got a joint effort on that one.
Yeah. I liked it. That was good. No, we did good. That was unplanned. This is the Game Pass headlines where we talk about the games that have come out this week and that we are looking forward to for next week. Sean's got a swatch. I was going for schwackload, and then I went for swash, and I don't know. It just got all... Anyways, he's got a lot of games to talk
even
about.
though you completely wrangled that word, I have absolutely nothing to talk about for next week.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so. It was supposed to be funny, and then I just effed it up, and now it's just dumb. So it became like a paint swatch, a swatch load of games, whatever that is. Congratulations. Anyways, I have 3 things to talk about, so I'll just shut up and talk about those things, which is my job. Wargroove 2 is coming out everywhere. Has come out everywhere. September 19th. That was Thursday. But, it is what it is. Game Pass Ultimate, PC Game Pass as well. Embark on an all-new adventure filled with unlikely friendships, unknown adversaries, and ugly revenge plots. Wage war against your foes with a cast of new commanders. Design and share maps, cutscenes, and campaigns with easy-to-use editor and in-depth customization tool. That is Wargroove 2. I much enjoyed the first Wargroove. I didn't beat it, but I got halfway through, so... be interesting to go back. Frostpunk 2 PC only September 20th. So that was Friday. This game came out last Friday. Day and date game. Take the role of steward and lead your city through a cascade of calamities taking place in the post-apocalyptic snowy setting. Develop, expand, and advance your city in a society survival game set 30 years after an apocalyptic blizzard ravaged Earth. In Frostpunk 2, you face not only the perils of never-ending winter, but also the powerful factions that watch your every step inside the council hall. It's almost like if they took Fallout and they made it Blizzard Out. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I was very upset this came to PC because it's been very well received within the PC Game Pass community and PC players around. I saw some people on X taking to Game Pass and saying, why hasn't this come to console kind of thing, because it's done very well.
Sweet. Aura History Untold, which we've heard quite a bit about lately. PC again only, September 24th. That was just 2 days ago, Tuesday, September 24th. Another day and dater from Oxide Games and Xbox Game Pass Studios. Aura History Untold is an evolution in historical grand strategy featuring beloved classic PC strategy mechanics alongside innovative gameplay. Build a nation and lead your people throughout history as you explore new lands, develop arts and culture, conduct diplomacy, and go head-to-head with your rivals to prove you are the greatest ruler ever known. It's your world now. Pre-install today. That really didn't need to be there, but I read it before I realized it was not important to where we were at. So yeah, I wouldn't mind play. I love classic PC strategy mechanics, aka Civilization.
So Command and Conquer Red Alert was my go-to.
Yeah, this really seems like Civilization though. It just seems like a Civ game basically. Yeah. With of course innovative gameplay. Okay.
Yep.
So there you go.
Obviously, not only was it those 3 games that Nick's just talked about, but also the stuff that got shadow dropped in the Tokyo Game Show, because I haven't got anything to talk about coming out next week. I'll just remind you about those then.
You kind of do, Sean. You kind of do. Because coming out the 30th, that's basically like, that's new game-esque. Kind of like. Do you know what's coming out 30th? Scroll down. Starfield, Shattered Space, September 30th.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's the DLC, though. That's not a whole new game.
It is, but it's a pretty big... Hey, Sean, I don't know if you know, but it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is. So, okay. So not only, so let me just go back a second. So not only did we get those 3 games that came out this week that Nick has just talked about, we got the stuff that was in the Tokyo Game Show, which is Wheel of Katamari, Reroll, and Royal Revive. I can't say that word. We got the Wheel of Katamari Reroll stuff. We got All You Need Is Help, Legend of Mara, Trials of Mara. So that's the stuff from Square Enix. We got those that we talked about already in the Tokyo Game Show. But then coming out on the 30th, we have the Shattered Space expansion DLC for Starfield, which gives a whole new stretch to the game, hence why it's an expansion. It looked very good. It looked very eerie in the showcase. So if you're looking forward to that, and the only reason why I'm not giving you a full roundup of what it says is because I can't open it because it will just make me blur and chatter and glitch. So exactly. But yeah, there's that, which might just fall into me wanting to go back into Starfield, but I can't because I have Zelda. Why do they do this? I swear to God, like PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox get together and be like, look, you're going to drop Zelda on this day, so we're going to do Shattered Space on this day because everybody's going to want to play Zelda that's got 2 consoles at home if they have an Xbox and a Switch. And then we're going to drop this cool like expansion on Starfield just to like really piss them off because they're going to be knee deep in Zelda, but then they're going to want to play that as well. And they don't know what to do. So,
listen, you just gotta you got the knee thing going on. I mean, just milk it. Just get a little bit more.
The thing is that I can't play on the knee for too long. I'm back at work on the 2nd of October, so I've got to get my time in with Zelda before I go back to
That's
work.
right. You got to finish Zelda by the 30th. And then you have 2 days to beat Starfield Shattered Space and the actual game, by the way, because I know you never did that. Along with me, by the way, I'm not throwing any shade. I did not either. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, I wanted to make that very clear.
You threw me under the bus and then jumped in with me.
Yeah. That's fair. I did. Yeah.
But we have games leaving for the 30th as well. We have a lot of games leaving.
Oh, really?
30th. We got Gotham Knights, Let's Build a Zoo, Loop Hero, My Time in Porsche, which you played and enjoyed.
Yeah.
Paw
Said
Patrol
my
Grand
time,
Prix.
and I got a little heart palpitation there. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, The Walking Dead the complete first season, Walking Dead the complete second season, and Valheim. So that's a big list of games. Some of those big titles as well, especially the Walking Dead series. There were some good titles.
Let's Build a Zoo is a fun game. It's a fun little, strategy, economic-y type, build it game. I enjoyed that. Loop Hero, man, that was all the rage. I tried to get into it. I didn't. I just didn't see it. My Time at Porsche is obviously amazing, but don't try to jump into it now unless you want to buy it, because you'll never get it done. And I played Valheim too. Valheim was a little not a little, actually a pretty big, you build up your little city. Build up a city. I never made it very far. I got to a little cottage that I was able to hide in so that people didn't kill me as a survival-y type game. But that's about as far as I made it. So yeah, it's fun though.
So they are all leaving on the 30th, and like we talked about when we mentioned the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can buy them now with 20% off, or you'll either buy them at full price or they might drop and get slashed in price. Who knows? It's a gamble.
It is.
But if you want to be sure of the percentage that you're getting off now, go get it now for 20% off before the 30th.
Yeah, it's an interesting. That is funny. That's an interesting deal. Maybe they're gonna see how many people will buy it 20% off, and then when they're done, they'll slash it to 50. What was it we were just talking about? Or Bruce just showed us Outlaws was down to $30 or something like that, $40 something.
Yeah, I mean. And that was physical copy as well, I believe.
Yep, it was. It's crazy. It's just crazy.
I enjoyed that game, and to a point, and then unfortunately it got very much same old, and there was too much lore starting to come into it, and I was getting lost between what I was supposed to be doing and where I was supposed to be going, and it had a lot of. That game's great. It's huge. It's massive. It looks fantastic. If you're a big Star Wars fan, Outlaws is probably very much what you would want from a Star Wars game. It just started to grow arms and legs for me too fast, as well as becoming a go to this point do this same thing that you've already done at this point, go to this next point, do the same thing again. And I lost interest.
Yeah, they've nerfed the stealth missions, as I believe we talked about last week. So I may, will I get back to it? I don't know, but I might want to get back to it with that. I really was a little like, oof, I don't know how many of these missions, like the one in the space, in the
hangar,
the space hangar. Like, I don't know how many of those I want to do, man. I had to redo that one a lot to get through it, and I still didn't know if I was going to get through it.
If I end up having to have surgery, which I think I'm probably going to have surgery, I might go back to Outlaws to kind of fill that time, depending on A, how I feel, and B, what else is out around that time, because we could see something new and exciting.
That's true. Always a chance for something new and exciting. Hey, do you that's the end of our that's the end, right?
This is the end.
That's the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sean, I have a question for you. This is a question my wife was posed by a third grader. It's a very deep question, and I want you to answer it for me. This is our what is it called? Man, it's party chat. This is our party chat. Sean, if you're wearing a sweater and you're sweating, which one of you is the sweater?
Would I not become the sweaty?
Are you the sweaty? See, there you go. There it is. That was a question posed to my wife by a third grader. So, if you're wearing a sweater and you're sweating, which one's the sweater?
I genuinely this evening had to use ChatGPT to answer a maths question that Emily came home with. I've
never thought about using ChatGPT to answer a math question, and now I'm never probably going to answer a math question myself again. Thank you so much.
So the question was, the weights of 2 tins of fruit are in the ratio of 3 to 5. Find the weight of the smaller tin as a percentage of the weight of the larger tin.
Define the weight of the smaller tin as a percentage to the weight. So it would be 60% of the weight, right?
It would. How did you... Fuck you. How did you get us? Oh my god, I feel so stupid. It just could freaking AI for that.
I didn't have to think about it for a second, but yeah, there you go.
Well, you had to think about it for a second. I was literally sat there like, how am I going to simplify that? Like, Emily looked at me as if to say, can you make this sound any simpler? And I was like, nope, but I know what can.
I like it. But now, every time I have a math question that I don't know, I'm going to go to the AI. I've never really thought about doing that.
It was great because it didn't just tell me the answer. To find the weight of the smaller tin as a percentage of the weight of the larger tin, follow these steps. Number 1, the ratio of the weights of the 2 tins is 3 to 5, given that 3 units for the smaller tin, and so the larger tin is 5 units. And then to express that weight in a smaller tin as a percentage of the weight, we can do this as a calculation. It then gave me the weight of the smaller tin over the weight of the larger tin times by 100. So it's 0.6 times by 100 gives you 60%. I was like, that's amazing.
That's cool, yeah.
So, yep.
So
not only did it just give me the answer, but it gave me the calculation and told me how to follow the steps, so it could be applied to something later, which is great. I absolutely love GPT. I use it for a lot of things.
I do too. I have it make sentences for me all the time. Whenever I need it to, like, when it's like, hey, make a definition of this program or describe this program, or I needed to make me an inspiring statement about my company to our donors. Yep, man, it is ridiculously super helpful.
Yep. The only thing that we don't use it to write is our doc every week, which we painstakingly go over and do. So,
have we ever tried?
I don't know. Maybe we should do one.
No, but it won't like search current internet, right? Isn't that a thing it won't do?
I think that's something it didn't do. There is so many adaptations.
Yeah, it's true. It keeps growing. It's growing. Yeah, for sure, all the time. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should try an AI doc next week. There you go.
So if you want us to try an AI doc, please leave any comments and stuff like that. You can please get in touch with us and let us know, and we will do that. We will do a full AI doc and see what it comes out with. And if we're not happy by the time we need to go live, we'll probably have a backup.
But, we'll be talking about the stupidest shit. You just wait. It'll be like the most random crap. Like That'll be fantastic. It would be funny though. I'm thinking we should probably try it. Yeah. All right, Sean, take us out.
So cool, yeah. With that little bit of a tidbit at the end there, that wraps up this episode of the Game Pass Record Show. Thanks very much for listening. Don't forget to follow us over on X. You can follow our main gaming account, which is the VGT Gaming News, or you can follow us individually. I'm at Sean_Abbott, and Nick is Nick Tendo. That's Nick 10DOH. Just a huge thanks to our social media team that manage everything with VGT Gaming News and our journalist team, which have always dropping out some pretty cool reviews of the current games that are coming out or have come out. If you want to catch them, they're over on the VGT Gaming News X channel. But yeah, so a massive thank you to everybody that's watching. Thank you everyone for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Keep gaming, and until next time, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.